Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. So listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Working it two in the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every girl, rubber rock stats, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday, it's the same different. They lying, we got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, RAYNE Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
2, 1.
Well, as you guys can tell, Derek Irvin doesn't miss anything. If you don't want to miss anything as well, go to YouTube. Search at Sweep the League TV. Be a subscriber today. We're giving away a bunch of prizes and stuff. Be a subscriber today so you don't miss, just like Derek never misses. Subscribe to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the League TV, where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play, we bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots, with Derek Irvin straight Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on, tell your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the pods, epic drives, to my heart's on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
To the 100th season of the National Football League. Tonight is not about the league. What's up, Juju? It's about football. It's about the players, the fans, the moments, and everything else that makes you say, oh boy.
No can do, cowboy. Come on, TG. Damn, B. Y'all know I have more yards than they do. You still got it. Well, it hurt. This is a big party. Get out there, man. Obese. Hey, come on now.
He's open. Russ.
I got you, Tom.
That's the cake.
Can I have one, please?
You want this? Come and get it.
As you can tell, one of the best Super Bowl commercials out there. Top 100 NFL 100 years. Well, the top 100 basically. So I mean, that's one of the best Super Bowl commercials. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get Coach Gio in here. The coach himself sporting the Hoosiers sweater today. Funny, we were talking about the Hoosiers in the group chat.
In honor of Mike Woodson probably getting fired.
You really went Shaka Smart in Indiana, don't you?
I like the mix. I think that would be a quote unquote sexy hire. I mean, Penny Hardaway is going to be out there potentially as well. I think he could be kind of a big name. But Indiana needs. This is a basketball town. This isn't football, Rudy. Even though last season, football is football, right? Kurt Signetti comes in and really changes life here immediately.
They lost 2 games all year. Both games to the 2 teams that were in the National College Football Championship.
That's all I'm going to say, Rudy.
Yeah.
He got them there. He lost to Ohio State and Notre Dame. Indiana's not there yet, but as they continue to build, they're going to continue to get players in there.
100%. Tim Gonzalez, Spirit of Blue Devils. I don't want to talk about Blue Devils for a long time, like at all. Harry's in here. Evening, Sweetie, and Sweep the League. Evening, Harry. Appreciate you joining us in here, man. Love the SAFC logo on your, what do you call that, Gio? I mean, you want to use the picture, the profile picture? Is that what it is? What you kids call it, the profile picture?
Yeah, something like that these days.
Yeah, something like that. I love that SAFC he's got right there. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. And Tim Gonzalez is Leonard Hamilton is stepping out at the end of the season for FSU. It's gonna be a lot of coaching changes, man. As much as UConn men's is struggling, I don't know if they can keep putting up with Hurley's shenanigans, man. Him and Bobby over at Arizona State. That their shenanigans are getting a little out of hand. I mean, it's getting a little tiresome.
Rudy, coaching, there's been several coaches. We saw the coach at Miami leave, right? I believe he stepped down. We saw Virginia. Forgot his name off the top of my head.
I know who you're talking about. Is
it Virginia Tech or Virginia? I don't remember.
I think it was Virginia. Who you're talking about? Yeah.
So this could be the effect, Rudy, of NIL. I think it's causing a bit of friction. We saw Nick Saban step down, and more for the older coaches stepping down, as this is a different light. This isn't the same, recruit, right? Probably paying out of the bus. This is a different time. So there's programs now that are now being able to compete. I see Duke football already. That you know what? They've been getting some guys. They got money up there. So
who was the kid they had this past at quarterback?
They added
Malik. Is it Malik Washington? No, not Malik Washington.
They added somebody from some school. I mean, it's just so much movement. You know who Indiana got at quarterback? Mendoza from Cal.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of guys. Man, it's like, you think the NFL is like tough? Just imagine college football. How many guys are going in and out of teams? Literally, already there's a quarterback who committed to Oregon. Don't know if you heard this story. He comes in early. I mean, super early. And then he actually just left the Cal. He's an incoming freshman. Doesn't think he can probably beat out whoever's going to be coming in. And he literally, that's how quick you can enroll and just leave.
It's different times and tough times in college sports right now. College football, it's upside down on its head, man. I don't know if I'm gonna like it any more than what I used to. NIL's really been really kicking the ball sack. So I'm gonna leave it at that when it comes to NIL. But nonetheless, man, the Hoosiers, Mike Woodson, we were talking about that earlier. I suggested Calbert Chaney. He's already been an assistant coach. Well, not assistant coach. He's been a player development there. He's been an assistant coach at another school. So, why just keep it in-house? I love Calbert Chaney there. ACC lost 6 top head coaches, legends. Yeah. Talking Coach K, Roy Williams, the guy from Virginia. I've got him on the tip of my tongue. Jesus.
You got it on mute, Gio.
I do think it's the guy from Virginia or Virginia Tech. Well, one of the two guys. He's the one that won the championship at Virginia, I believe.
Yeah, it'll hit me in a little while. I can guarantee you that. So, nonetheless, man, Sweep the League. All you gotta do is go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button, so you don't miss out on everything that we've got here. The Big Daddy, the one that started it all, Sweep the League TV, comes to you every single Tuesday through Friday right now at 9 p.m. Derek Gervin, hopefully, be back tomorrow. Again, he's doing some basketball with high school stuff, so he's kind of in and out, but he should be back tomorrow. I got a text a little while ago from him. Also, STL 316, the wrestling podcast, going to be coming to you again very soon. Grading the Market's going to get more episodes out here pretty soon. Kind of busy on that sense, but we are getting more episodes as well. Sweep Unplugged. Plus, we got Refocus Radio, STL Music. All the stuff is dropping right now. The way to get it is to go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Gio, holy cow, man. Speaking of STL 316, Sith Lord Elias. What's good, fellas? What is up, Sith? Sith, man. Great wrestling content, man. You need wrestling talk to Sith, man. He's buku big time on the wrestling scene. NBA trade deadline is come and gone. San Antonio Spurs made, one move. They made an okay move. It was all right. Wasn't too bad. I mean, I think it's going to work out eventually for them. Worked out a little bit the first game, but hopefully it continues to work out for them. But nonetheless, man, look at this graphic. Have you ever seen this much action on the trade, not just the deadline, just in trades in general? I mean, you're talking what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all-stars that were traded in this picture right here. I mean, that is crazy in itself, man. And it says, just trying to get my content as good as y'all sports. Hey, man, you're doing a fantastic job, man. Fantastic job. Keep it up, Seth. You keep doing what you're doing, bro. We're here to help you whenever you need to as well. So don't forget that. John G, and big trades, too. That's what we're getting to, John. I mean, they're massive trades. Tony Bennett. That's who it was, Gio. Tony Bennett. Shout out to Tim Gonzalez. Tony Bennett with that there. So, but look at the move. So forget the All-Stars, Gio. 7 All-Stars here. You've got what, 2 all NBA guys that are involved? They were traded for each other. You've got one of the best playoff performers in Jimmy Butler. I mean, you've got the guy who's pissed off all the time, Brandon Ingram, going to Toronto.
Siberia. I mean, they just and that trade was kind of weird. It was very odd to see him go. I like what the Bucks did in getting Kyle Kuzma. Listen, he comes, he goes, but I don't think he was ever really loved or much of anything with a franchise who is completely just clueless right now at this point. I like that trade. Kyle's won a championship. He has a little bit of a pedigree there. See if that works out for the Bucks. Giannis deserves, and at this point, Middleton can't stay healthy enough, Rudy. So you got to figure out another option. So many guys, and the Kings, Rudy. We talked about this a few days ago. People talk about Kings being dumped in the water. I do not agree. And look what they did. I mean, they're trying to make the playoffs here. This isn't a team that's tanking.
Well, you got Zach LaVine. I mean, again, you've got a guy that can score, very athletic player. They go out and they add Valanciunas. So you have another big in the Western Conference that you definitely need to get bigs. Sith is in here. Spurs didn't get a big, so I'm ranking our trades a B+. That's pretty, that's pretty ballsy to call the Spurs trades a B+, because I think De'Aaron was the move that had to be made. You had to get a point guard for the future to team up. But I get where Sith is coming from, because you still had so many assets. You could have made another move somewhere, especially for a big. Now, keep in mind, Daniel Theis is a free agent. He's going to be bought out. Mo Bamba will be bought out. There's a couple of guys that are going to be bought out. But you also have the offseason coming. And I think that's where the Spurs can make more moves with those picks they've got.
Rudy, with probably Chris Middleton gets bought out. Did you throw a few dollars there?
No.
No.
I don't. You're talking about adding a guy with championship pedigree, champion with the Bucks. That's a good question. I'm going to ask you, would you throw money at Chris Middleton? But if you did, who do you cut?
That's the problem. Just you already got rid of Zach Collins. Some of these other guys you traded. Yeah, no, it's just a shot in the dart here. If the Spurs could do anything, if one of these guys gets waived, but at this point, the Spurs are who they are, and Wilt Chamberlain, that guy, he's probably rolling over his grave. He's not coming back for this.
No, definitely not. But I mean, you're right. I mean, Middleton. I don't think he gets bought out in Washington. I really don't. I think he stays in Washington. He plays out. If he gets bought out, probably maybe towards the end of the season. I don't know if it'd be right away though, but I don't know if he would come to San Antonio, Middleton. I see him fitting more, maybe the Lakers, they need a shooter. I mean, maybe with somebody around that area, maybe California. The Spurs took a huge step towards what they wanted to look like in the future. It's one step, but I think they're trying to grow responsible and figure it out between the two before adding more talent. From John on YouTube. Appreciate you always joining us here, John G. Appreciate the comment. That's kind of what I'm saying, Gio. I'm not saying they didn't make inquiries about players. I just don't. Honestly, I'm going to say it. I think they had scared money at the trade deadline. I think they were afraid to gamble some of what they had and kind of just roll with the team they've got on the right now because they got the guy they wanted. So I think I'm going to say they played with scared money today.
Well, look, they're probably sitting back and thinking, well, right now we're not even in the plan. Could we get another guy in here? But I mean, really, they can still make deals in the offseason, right? They still have that ability, barring any, big time injuries to some of their other guys that they were potentially could be trading. But look, Fox is there. We'll see what happens down the stretch. If they can catch fire and try to get into the playing game potentially. But really, madness. I mean, Anthony Davis, obviously, with Luka was a big trade. Fox. I like what the Cavs did with Hunter. I actually thought it was kind of a thing that kind of went under the radar. But you get a guy there in Atlanta who was, he was playing well this year. I had to think about 19 a game, contributing. I like the Cavs are an interesting team come postseason time. I'm interested to see if they can get to the finals. Can they make a run? Because Boston, Rudy, is going to be the favorite. I mean, it's going to be Boston.
Man, you and Derek are really sold on Boston. I'm sold on Boston too, but I don't know why I like the Knicks a little bit still.
Rudy, you know how I feel about the Knicks. I just feel like they're just going to run out of gas. It's like every night one of these guys are playing 40 minutes a game.
They very well could.
I don't know if a team, that coach, Rudy, and the minutes and the physicality.
Yeah.
I just don't know, can they go the distance? Because Rudy, I remember one game, I sent you a stat. It was like almost every player in that one game all played 40 minutes. It's like, dude, I don't know. And today's NBA, which is load management, Tibbs, man, he's the tough coach to play for. He's not an easy guy, and I just don't know how far can they go. Because I just think they're running out of gas again, like they did last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, Seth's wondering about Charlotte. Are they setting up a future without Melo? I'm gonna say no. I think Melo's still gonna be there. You still got Brandon Miller. Charlotte's kind of an enigma right now. They did add another guy, Dalton Connect, from LA, obviously, as you can tell. So they're just a very, very young team. And I still believe they're going to run with Melo probably till next trade deadline. That's when I think maybe you'll start to hear Some LaMelo rumors. Maybe he'll be going. I don't know. That's just me though.
Brady, did you hear about Dalton Connect traded because of some beef with Bronny James? Now, Gilbert Arenas, I think I had saw that. He talked about it, but do you think there's any truth to that?
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past that being true. I mean, you're talking about a head coach in JJ Redick who's best friends with LeBron James. You did see the video of JJ Redick getting pissed off at Dalton Connect because he didn't run a play. It's your effing play. It's your effing play. I mean, give me.
I like Dalton Connect.
I love Dalton Connect. Number 3 in my NBA draft prospects before the draft ranking.
I think he'll fit well with that kind of young style they got going over there. It's just Charlotte for whatever reason. Really, they just I've lived there. There's really no excitement. Yeah, Michael Jordan's there, but he's not. I don't think he's a minority anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what can they do, Rudy?
Charlotte, I don't know. I mean, let's be real. They draft pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to go back to Michael Kidd Gilchrist, or Kai Jones or anybody. But I mean, with LaMelo, they drafted good. Brandon Miller, they drafted good. I like, they're hitting on some picks, but it's not the coach. Charles Lee's is the coach. That's who I wanted to coach the Spurs if Pop left, was I wanted Charles Lee to be the head coach. So it's not necessarily the coach. I don't know if it's just is it because they can't get a superstar there? I mean, at some point they're going to have to trade for a superstar and just make it happen. I mean, the last superstar they had there was who? Kemba Walker?
Yeah, I think they took the Heat to 7 games. I think it was with Kemba, and I'm showing my
You could
age.
name that team, all those players. I'll probably give you $100 cash app right now.
I do know Kemba was there.
Everybody knows Kemba was there.
Who
I
was
like
on
their
that team?
only superstar, man. I'll get to
Anyway,
John G's question.
can the Magic run to the Eastern Conference?
Not yet. They're still a point guard and another star player away, I think, from.
And the Magic have built that team very well.
Through the draft.
I like what I see, and they're on their way. Just got to continue just to keep chopping that wood and just keep gaining more experience. But I wouldn't be surprised, really, if they get to the playoffs and they definitely make noise.
They'll make some noise. So the Magic will be the Cavaliers of this season next year. They'll be probably in the top 4. I think they're right there. I remember telling everybody that they were my surprise team in the East. They're not disappointing at all. Them and Detroit were my 2 surprise teams in the East. So they're not disappointed at all. I think the Magic are right there. They're just a player. If they can get a good point guard. Now, if LaMelo gets traded to Orlando, then you're talking, because then you get a superstar. You get a point guard that you need. That answers just about a lot of their questions. So I think they're on the cusp of it. John G, do you think there's any shot trying to go after Dalton? Now, if you're talking Dalton Connect for the Spurs, no, I don't see that happening at all. Not right now, at least. He's going to go through his rookie contract with Charlotte. I don't think they would ever try to trade for him. But Dalton Connect, number 3 on the draft prospect ranking for us going into the NBA draft last season. I mean, honestly, Gio, they got number 2 and number 3 on my list for draft prospects, and Connect and Tijan Saloon. So they're on the right path. You keep LaMelo. You've got Brandon Miller. They're building something in Charlotte.
Yeah, they got something brewing. Don't give up. Don't trade Miller. Don't trade him out. Don't do this. Keep with the same guys. Try to continue to build. They did have a trade with with Phoenix, I saw.
Yeah.
Look, just continue. Just stay on the path. Don't give up with these 2 guys, because I think Melo obviously really has had a really good year, and Brandon Miller has been good too. So
Getting better.
I don't see why you would give up just yet. Don't. Just keep pushing. We see what the Magic are doing. just try to build. Look at Detroit, Rudy.
Perfect example.
This team was absolutely dreadful last season. Get a
Yep.
new coach, and look.
Then
So,
they kept with that process, not the 76ers process. So definitely
well,
not like that.
Are you surprised really that Joel Embiid didn't get traded? I thought maybe
No. Who the hell would want Joel Embiid?
for like one playoff run, but I guess you probably have to give up so much. It just probably wouldn't even make any sense.
You would have to give up the farm to get Joel Embiid. And
Honestly, why would you have to? The man's always hurt. What are the Sixers going to sell here? He might stay healthy.
I don't know. What
Honestly,
I mean,
Rudy, you might be able to get him at a bargain.
Would you say that you get him at a De'Aaron Fox type of package or less? People think that Luka that the Mavericks got hosed. I don't think so. So that's why I'm using De'Aaron Fox.
It would have to be less than the Luka trade.
Definitely less than Luka trade.
Yeah. So
I would say
the problem is I don't know where his head is. He can't play back to backs. He's, the other day he had a leg injury, but he's doing a handstand. Or it's just he's a PR nightmare. Honestly, he's a PR nightmare.
very much so, dude. Very much so. Yeah.
It's like, Joe, get away from the camera, dude. Don't do anything. You're killing yourself, man.
He's terrible. He's terrible. And Tim saying Knicks wanted Joel so badly. I wouldn't put it past them to do it, but at this point, just let Joel be Joel. I mean, eventually the Sixers are going to get tired of his crap and they're going to just cut him. Then he can go wherever he wants. But before we get off of this trade deadline stuff, Gio, give me your ideas here. As we got John G laughing up a storm here. Appreciate you joining us. Over with John G. Give me your thoughts here. Not Luka, not Anthony Davis, not De'Aaron Fox, and not Jimmy. Not the big names there. What's the most significant move made at this trade deadline that's going to benefit the team they went to?
I like Hunter with the Cavs, Rudy. I really think it's another piece they're building. I think he'll fit right in with a bunch of guys who are very talented themselves. I'm not saying they're not going to miss LeVert and the other guy they sent away, but I like Hunter. I like what I've seen this season, and you're adding another guy who can score the basketball. Why not? He's versatile. He can do a little bit of everything.
I got you on that.
Just makes sense.
I'll be 100%. I kind of like the Wiggins move to Miami as well. You don't really have Jimmy obviously there, but you have Wiggins. Again, another guy that's won an NBA title with the Golden State Warriors. He can score, former number 1 pick from Minnesota, for the Timberwolves. I mean, I like that move. I think it still keeps Miami relevant in the East, and that's not saying much because the Eastern Conference is bad. But I also love the Kings moves. Getting Zach LaVine. You lose De'Aaron, you get Zach LaVine. You talk about Domantas Sabonis. You go and get Valanciunas right there. So, I mean, the Kings kind of loaded up at the trade deadline to keep themselves not necessarily as contenders in the West, but to keep, at least with the play-in teams right now is what I would think. But those are the two that I really, really like.
No, yeah. I thought what Golden State did really didn't turn no needle. Didn't turn anything for me. It was nice. It was cute, but I don't know where Jimmy's head is at. They send this dude to Siberia. The Lakers, I don't know.
It's funny because I love Derek Gervin, and he keeps telling us like the Lakers are going to be there.
I know.
And, he's right. He's right, dude. I mean, you've got Luka, you've got LeBron, two of the smartest players in the game, but yet two of the worst defensive players right now, especially Luka. But Ray Dean, Lakers, 25 more wins. Williams, good center, and Luka, game changer. Go Lakers! Me so happy. Well, I know Ray's happy because he's always in here talking about the Lakers. So we got John G. Lakers have a good starting five, but no bench. Exactly. It's kind of crazy. What's good, my boy Ray all day. I like what John G said. The Lakers. I mean, Mark Williams, they picked up at the trade deadline. They've got Luka, they got LeBron. They've got a team, but it's like I remember telling Derek, and you were there in the group chat. You saw it. I don't see it. I mean, I I don't have them as a top 3 team in the West, but am I missing something, Gio, with the Lakers? I mean, you've got the all-time, you got one of the greatest of all times in LeBron at the end of his career. You've got all NBA and perennial MVP candidate Luka Doncic, but no bigs and no bench.
That's the problem, Rudy. I just what Luka we're gonna see. It's all. Can he check in the gear? Can he get his mind ready to go? Cut down some weight. That seems to be a big issue, but he is 6'7". I don't know yet, Rudy. And Derek is. I mean, he is loving the Lakers, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough time to get everyone flowing. But they do have high basketball IQs. But Rudy, if they're not playing any defense, I just do you see them beating the Thunder?
No. Oh God. I was speaking of the Thunder. I told Derek this morning. I texted him. I was talking to him on the phone. I said, I don't think I've ever seen a player recently like SGA plays the game so slow, so crafty, can score at will. I mean,
and doesn't shoot a whole lot of threes either. He's starting to do a little bit more of that, but it's like the James Harden, right? Kind of more. Yeah. He's just making shots, getting to the lane. He's versatile. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out the last time I saw a player like that. It's been. I mean, you're looking at all-time greats that were scorers, guys like Alex English. I mean, Bernard King was a bucket getter. But who was the last guy we saw before SGA who was just so, crafty with the ball, get to a spot, score, putting up 50 so quietly that you're like, holy cow. I mean, not even Mike. I can't even consider Mike like that. SGA is just a whole different beast.
And to think, wasn't he with the Clippers?
Yeah, they traded him for Paul George.
That was Rudy. And I think what it was is Kawhi went to the Clippers and says, hey, I need a star. Dude, you had somebody right there in your lap. We don't talk about worst trades, Rudy, but I'm sorry. Paul George is no SGA, even in Paul George's prime. And at that point, he was already older. Paul George at this point is just stealing money.
I thought you would never say that at all, man.
Rudy, and some of these guys, Rudy, are just stealing money. And you see it. But there's nothing nobody could do because they're paying these guys because of, ticket prices. I wouldn't go to a game because of Paul George, but I'm just saying a lot of these guys are stealing money. Yeah. And we can go through a list of these guys. Paul George, Joel Embiid is stealing tons of money. So, and Jimmy Butler, he's starting to be like in that mix of just stealing money.
Yeah. Yeah, he is, man. He's starting to get there. A lot of these players are. I mean, Ben Simmons, perfect example. That guy.
Is Ben still has his contract?
Yeah, and I think he's wanting to get bought out or something like that.
Dude.
Apparently he wants a buyout so he can join a contender.
The fall of Ben Simmons must be studied. That's must be studied.
Well, they have 30 for 30. We can do probably like a 20 for 20 minute show.
So much talent.
And what talent, dude? Okay.
No, really. Before the missed free throws, I guess I could say that. Before that, Rudy, he was on a come up. He was rising. And Mike, he fell off a literal building. And remember that series, Rudy, against the Hawks. Remember, he wouldn't shoot any free throws.
He wouldn't even shoot a layup.
Doc had to sit him down.
Yeah.
He didn't want to shoot free throws because, dude, you're that size. Just go in the lane, dude. They're gonna foul you.
Yeah.
And Rudy, what happened was just it was sad. And then his back or this and that, his mindset, dude. Probably one of the most fragile stars or whatever the hell you want to call them we've ever seen in the NBA. I mean, just really don't want to do a layup. Because remember, I think he had a layup and he didn't take it.
Yeah, he didn't take it. He passed it off. It was an open layup against Atlanta. That's when Atlanta upset Philadelphia in the playoffs.
I mean, your job as an NBA player, you can't make a layup, dude. When you don't have confidence to make a layup,
yeah,
there's nothing else more anybody can do. And then he does these videos with his shirt off, shooting threes. Dude, can we see that during the game, bro? I don't want to see that during the off season when it's so weird. It's so odd to me.
Don't get me going on off-season workouts. You always see the guys out and they put in what an Instagram, putting in the work in the lab, doing this, working on this. All right. Nobody's guarding you. You're taking jump shots. You're an NBA player. Nobody on you, no defense. You're going to make pretty much every damn shot. So Ben Simmons is putting all this work in the offseason. You know what's sad, Gio? He plays better and he works out more in the offseason than the actual regular season.
It's so weird to me. It's so odd. The guy, I remember he used to do that, but he would back it up, was JJ Watt. That dude would do some crazy stuff during the offseason. Yeah. Unfortunately, JJ, I mean, we did see his prime, but, the injuries towards the end really robbed him of even more success. But, man, some of these guys, dude, great offseason, dude, but why are we not seeing any of what you did during an actual game?
Well, get this. They're all going to Lifetime Fitness or, what is the other one? Planet Fitness, wherever the damn, courts are, and they're playing pickup games. You mean to tell me that you, Gio, walk into, Lifetime Fitness and you're an NBA player, you're playing pickup games against the guys who work out there, you're not going to look good in those videos? You're not going to get to the basket with ease. You're not going to be able to pull up and shoot over these guys.
It's just
I'm
so
tired
odd.
of those workouts. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's sad. And that must be studied along with another guy who stole a lot of money in Chandler Parsons. But we could talk about him another day.
We got a 20 for 20 coming up here for Sweep the League.
Chandler Parsons, really, dude, that has to be studied too.
Chandler, I'm going to get a list together and you and I need to talk about that list on a special episode of Sweep the League 20 for 20 here with Coach Gio and Rudy Campos here. So let's get off this subject here. You got the All-Star coming up in San Francisco, the All-Star game. The guys drafted their teams, Gio. Team Shaq, Team Kenny, Team Barkley. Go through the list real quick. Give me the team you think is going to win. I have no idea what Chuck was thinking, only getting like 2 guards the entire time. But he's loaded with a lot of big men. But nonetheless, Team Shaq has LeBron, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, Durant, Lillard, Harden, and Brown. Pretty good. I mean, you've only got one center. I don't know if Anthony Davis is going to play because, he's injured. But in fact, I think Anthony Davis is supposed to come back Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So he should be playing in this game. But you got shooting, obviously, on Team Shaq. So that's that team. Moving on, you got Team Chuck. This is what I was telling you about. Jokic, Giannis. Now he's got Shea, Wembanyama, Pascal Siakam, Sengun, Karl Anthony Towns, and Donovan Mitchell. 2 guards. All the bigs in the world, but 2 guards. So I'm assuming his starting 5 is going to be SGA, Donovan Mitchell, Wemby, Jokic, and Giannis. That's not too bad of a starting 5, but that's just massive. And last but not least, Team Kenny. You got Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Tyler Hero. Pretty much all the first timers.
Yeah.
Is who Kenny drafted. So Who you thinking, man?
I'm going with Shaq.
You like Shaq's team?
Yeah.
I will have to say he's got a mix of bunch of veterans, a lot of shooters. I can't disagree with you on that. I think I'll go with Team Shaq as well. I like Team Shaq. Tim is saying this is terrible for All-Star game. It's terrible. All-Star weekend's terrible in general, Tim. We need the Legends game back. So who's going to coach these teams? I don't know how the coaching works. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, it used to be
the top coaches.
Yeah, the top coaches and
I can't remember. I don't know how it works. I mean, you have Team Shaq, Team Kenny, Team Chuck. I don't think they're coaching at all, but I have to find that. I will get you the answer to that, John. We'll get that answer for you. I don't even know. I pay much attention to All-Star Weekend. The Drew Show. Shout out to the Drew Show, man. He's back in here. We used to always see the Drew Show when we were doing the show during the day. That was always fun. Appreciate you joining us. Sinjin, I'm supposed to be Sengun, out for the game. I don't know if he's been out for the game yet. I don't think anybody's been rolled out just yet. So we'll find out if he is rolled out or not for the All-Star game. Appreciate you joining us, Drew Show. Love having you on the show all the time, man. Can we just go back to East and West is the worst idea? Yeah, definitely, Tim. I don't like this at all. So nonetheless, Gio, that is NBA talk for right now. I would say let's take a commercial break, but let's not. Let's go right to the commercial. We can play all the STL music and commercials when we're done with the show. Gotta get right into this, man. It's Super Bowl 59. It's the weekend, Gio. It's the Chiefs. It's the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. Travis Swift against Saquon Barkley. You still going with the Chiefs? You still want that three-peat? I gave you 24 hours to think about it. You still want that three-peat?
I do. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning another Super Bowl. As long as you got Patrick Mahomes, you got a shot. Obviously, listen, the Eagles have had a tremendous season. You know, had a good playoff run. Saquon's running, flying high, whatever you want to say. They're a good team, but I think Kansas City, 2 weeks of preparation. N'Kobe Dean's out. I know that they're supposed to get Graham back. Something tells me the additions of Hopkins. You forget Rudy Hollywood Brown as well. He was hurt throughout the year, for the most part. He's in this. This receiving core is actually, I think, pretty good. And Rudy, you know, last year receiving core wasn't that great. Actually, it's probably the worst they've had, and they won a Super Bowl with Miko Hardman scoring a last-minute touchdown. Give it the Chiefs. I think Steve Spagnuolo and that defense is going to be able to really cause havoc and some problems for the Eagles, but they got to stop the run. If Saquon, if that train's rolling and he's getting 56-yard touchdowns like he did against the Rams and the Commanders, it's going to be tough for the Chiefs. But Patrick Mahomes, Rudy, I think Big Red does it, and I think they cement their place as the greatest dynasty in NFL history.
Let me give you my take here in a second. Drew Show's in here. Can we just say LeBron James ruined the All-Star game? I mean, it's so simple, and he deserves the blame. That definitely gets a round of applause. Been going downhill since LeBron's been all a part of it. Let's see, get rid of the All-Star game, make it a preseason kind of game, like a Hall of Fame game. And football, it's probably better and more competitive game. Then there's got to be a way to fix it. I know that for a fact. Philadelphia's running game is key. Definitely is a key. That's going to be where I'm going to hit my points on. Have a mid-season break in Call of Duty NBA exhibition and convention. Do the three-point shooting. The skills game, be stupid stunt games, and then all the fan interaction. I'm good with that. He said mid-season. We did get you on that, brother. Josh Allen wins the MVP award, according to Tim Gonzalez. Who is LeBron James? Is that the same guy we beat in 2005 and 2014? That would be the same guy with less hair and a son in the league. And John with the laughing emoji. Mario Cavazos. Shout out to Mario Cavazos joining us here. Hopefully Pat Mahomes goes down the end of the first quarter. Then Carson Wentz comes in to win the third straight Super Bowl. Would be classic. It would be classic if Carson Wentz came in and led the Chiefs to a Super Bowl. You know what? That deserves a round of applause as well for Mario Cavazos bringing that up because that's amazing right there, man. That is truly,
Well,
truly
then you would
amazing.
know it's definitely rigged.
Well, I mean, the NFL's rigged already, man. I
Yeah, no,
mean, it sucks when you can throw a penalty flag before the ball's hiked because they already know you're going to sack Patrick Mahomes. That's how bad the NFL's rigged. It's super, super bad. But you've got the Chiefs. You want the three-peat. I don't want the three-peat. I know it'll cement them in history. I know it's this. I know it's that. Gio, what? I've been through 2 Super Bowl heartbreaks. One major heartbreak that I will never get over as a Falcon fan. Can I just have one Super Bowl? Can I just get Saquon Barkley to win a Super Bowl, to win a ring? That's all I want. I didn't get nothing for Christmas. Huh?
Are you talking about your Falcons?
Yeah, my Falcons suck. I've already been through heartaches. Can I watch Saquon get a ring? I mean, could this be his only opportunity? Maybe. I didn't get nothing for Christmas. Santa Claus didn't bring me anything. Can I just have this? Can I just see Saquon win a ring and Patrick Mahomes not three-peat? That's what I want.
I mean, your love affair with Saquon's really interesting. I mean, is it because of Daniel Jones didn't work out? You want to call for another giant man?
No, it has nothing to do with that. I just, like I said, I feel Saquon is one of the good guys in the league. He went through a lot. He went through the Daniel Jones era in New York. The guy deserves a ring. I mean, you don't think he deserves a ring at all? Or you just don't want him to win a ring now?
I want the Chiefs to do something that's never been done, Rudy. Yeah, we saw what the Bills did, go to 4 straight and lose. That's probably will never be broken again.
Well, it could because if they win the Chiefs, they can go up again next year. And you're talking 4 in a row, 4 wins in a row.
Well, the Buffalo lost, I think, in the divisional. Well, yeah, I guess if you're talking about like
appearances.
Yeah, appearances, but I actually mean just 4 in a row, like appearances straight. But anyway, Rudy, I just want to see history, man. I want to see the Chiefs do something that we've never seen. The Eagles can go back next year and win it. Now, if the Chiefs go back again next year and win 4 straight, I mean, I know the media is going to be just legit Chiefs tired, but I want to see Chiefs win. Now, you know what? I was thinking, Rudy, you know, I'm a big Rams fan.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I picked the wrong freaking team in Missouri. You have Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
If I would have picked the Chiefs, Rudy.
So pick the Chiefs.
No.
Say bye-bye to the Rams.
I can't do that to my...
Drop the Rams the way they're dropping Cooper Kupp. It's easy. Just do it.
It's business, Rudy. It's nothing personal.
Well, make it a business decision. Be a Kansas City fan.
I have to be a Rams. Everyone, I just can't do that, Rudy. I would be absolutely ridiculed for making the switch. I mean, nobody would ever even let me live that up. So, but no, Chiefs. I got Chiefs winning this Super Bowl. I've had them winning every one of them. The only one I was wrong in was Tampa.
Yeah, they did lose to that. So, could you hold that over Mahomes that he lost to Brady in the Super Bowl?
Oh, because Brady also lost as well.
Brady lost to Manning. Eli, what, twice? Is it twice?
Yeah, but I don't look at head-to-head Super Bowl records simply because at the end of the day, it just matters how many you win. So
if Mahomes wins, greatest of all time?
Not yet. I'm still showing respect to Deflategate and recordings of. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I still give a lot of respect to Tom Brady because he won that last Super Bowl in Tampa at a very late age of his career. So I have to give him a lot of credit. But he's itching, Rudy. He's on his way.
So let me twist this around on Mahomes and Brady. Can we say that they both are great quarterbacks, won their fair amount of Super Bowls, but both have come with some sort of controversy? A lot of
but
flags that were called on the opposing of teams for the Chiefs this year.
Patriots have had more though, Rudy.
No, they have.
The cheating scandal and the fact that we never got the tapes because they burned them apparently, because Eric Mangini literally told Bill, "Hey, don't record this week, please."
Yeah.
And look what Eric Mangini then ended up. Don't want to say snitching, but he told, and now his relationship with Bill is terrible. So, I Patrick's flags, okay, but the recording on the sidelines, because it was reported in the Rams' first Super Bowl that Patriots did recorder practices. Now, Mike Martz has always stated it didn't change anything because they didn't do anything different, but they were recording really up to what year? 2000 and Mangini was hired in was it 08?
I believe it was 08.
Sometime around there. So it had to be 09, 010. I mean, that's almost a decade, Rudy, of Bill being with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So, and then Rudy, do you remember the Patriots had that thing with the Bengals where their video guy was upstairs doing something? I mean, Bill's always been the rules, and ironically, now Rudy, he's with the Tar Heels. I wonder if he's going to be recording games at college football.
I've already said Bill has a younger girlfriend. He's going to be spending a lot of times at frat parties and all this other stuff. What's the other reason why Bill's going back to college, man? I mean, it's exactly like that movie Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. I mean, Bill's going back to college, bro. He's going to go party it up in college. So that's the only reason why he's going. We're going to get to all your Super Bowl, your questions here and your comments. Tim wants to know, Gio, what's your go-to Super Bowl meal for this year?
I mean, honestly, throughout the years, and I think we're doing tacos this year. So we're making the chicken, the beef, the steak. But typically, really, I think nachos and pizza have always been my two kind of foods. But I've been to other parties and they've had all types of different things. So I'm going with pizza and nachos, man.
So I'll tell you what, because you're not on social on X, send me a pic of the setup for Super Bowl. I'm gonna post a pic of our setup for Super Bowl because I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, they're talking tostadas. Someone's making tostadas, which again, I'm walking like 3 miles a day right now. I'm getting my workout in because I want to be sure I can eat on Super Bowl Sunday. But we're doing that. I think they're doing pizza for the kids. Pigs in a blanket. I think that's what my wife's making.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what else, but I'll take a picture of your setup. You send me a setup, I'll send them mine. We'll post it on social media. What are you guys planning to eat for this weekend on the Super Bowl? What's your go-to meal? John G might go to tears because I'm a Cowboys fan. Oh God, Cowboy fans. You know what? At least you've got some Super Bowl wins. I can't say that about being a Falcon fan. My go-to meal is tears because I'm a Cowboy fan. Well, John G says that his go-to meal is tears. I totally understand that. Mario's wanting to know this. Is it the fact that they're removing the stop racism from the end zone and replacing with something else? I heard they were removing that, it was end racism, I think, on the end zones, and they might be replacing it with something else. I have no idea on that sense. I did see that come across the timeline a couple of days ago. So we'll see if they do. The Drew Show, Gio says, I just believe the coaching tandem of Reed and Spagnuolo is to OP for the Eagles coaching staff, especially with 2 weeks of scheme. Top it off with Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying. Andy, and especially Spag. If you watch Spag's defense, there's a lot of switching in the secondary. Man, they do a really good job. They're sound. Chris Jones, man, when he gets going, obviously it's a good Eagles O-line. It's a really good offensive line. We've seen what they've done this season, especially in the playoffs against some of those teams they played. I just think that, to me, ultimately is going to come down to coaching. Give me Andy over Sirianni.
Okay. I think we're going to be at odds. I'm taking the Eagles to win. Like I said, I want the Eagles to win. I don't have any, and I'm being 100% honest. I don't have anything against Patrick Mahomes. If they three-peat, they three-peat. I'm cool with it. It would be exciting to see. I mean, never happened before. Patrick would go into another category. You put him above Montana and everybody else, I would say. Is that fair to say? He would be
Yeah.
number 2, period.
I mean, Montana, he didn't lose any Super Bowls. But Mahomes just keeps going, and he's still very young. If we're talking about greatness, now, if you want to say best thrower of the football, that's all subjective. A lot of people think Dan Marino's the best thrower of the football, but
I do. 100%.
yeah, I mean, really, who's going to be over him with the amount of? And he already has three Super Bowls, right? So he's already ahead of the Mannings,
Yeah.
Roethlisberger. Drew Brees only won one. John Elway. John has 2. John did go to, I believe, 7. Wait, no, 5 Super Bowls.
5. I was gonna say it wasn't 7.
Sucks that John ran into the 49ers and those cup, not the Commanders, but you know what I mean. The Washington Commanders of back in the day. John ran into some tough teams, but yeah. I mean, Rudy, there's no one else going to have those amount of Super Bowls.
So John just saying he's got to be the GOAT. Drew Show back in here. Getting caught and fined for cheating is different than flopping, brother. The Pats got caught and punished guilty. Patrick flops. So yeah, saying they got fined. He's saying calling Patrick Mahomes a flopper. Well, Patrick gets a ton of calls, man. I agree with that. Did the Pats were so guilty the commissioner had to burn the tapes or it would have ruined the league? This is the Black Sox type stuff. Yeah, dude. Chicago Black Sox, man. Back in the day, Shoeless Joe, man. Yeah.
We never got the tapes, Rudy. We couldn't see for ourselves. Rudy, could have been that bad.
No.
The NFL said, we got to burn these tapes, dude. We can't have nobody see these tapes.
I mean,
was it 4K wasn't around, but was Bill recording like in 4K? And it's like, dude, like wide open. It's like, I don't know. And look, it was probably blurry. I mean, if you have somebody all the way up top of some of these stadiums, it's perceived to be blurry unless you got someone in the middle. But fans would see that. Like, dude, like who's this jerk recording the whole game? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want more information on that damn Harbaugh thing because Harbaugh left in the nick of time. How much cheating was going on and he didn't know? Bull crap.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I agree with that. Chiefs, I've never dominated a Super Bowl game. Is it kind of with the Rams, but not really? They got smoked by Tampa Bay, the GOAT, and it was like 38-35. That's from the Drew Show. The last time two teams played, everything points to a pick'em situation, and then you throw it and it's Reed, it's Bagnola, and it's Mahomes. Close game, but you got to get the answer to those guys. So a lot of people are favoring the Chiefs. I mean, I know I'm in the minority here, going with the Eagles, me and the entire city of Philadelphia. Probably you're the only Eagle fans out there going for them. Nobody in Texas because everybody's a Cowboy fan. So nobody wants the Eagles to win. Everybody's going to go for the Chiefs. They want to see the three-peat. So you've got Kansas City. I've got Philadelphia winning. Those are our picks going into the weekend here. MVP, Gio, who do you got before we go here? Who do you got MVP-wise?
MVP sometimes never quite know how this is going to go. I think the glaring, obviously, I would go with Patrick Mahomes. But if I'm going to go on a limb and give you a random individual, I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco.
Wow. Isaiah Pacheco. Okay.
Because this could be a running, depending on how these defenses play, it could be a lot of running.
I think so. Give me an MVP if the Eagles win.
I'm going to go with Saquon.
Yeah, that would be my pick.
I really think I would say Saquon or A.J. Brown.
I can see AJ, but I think you're going to get more of like Devontae. I think in the passing game, I kind of like Saquon. I'm going to give you my Chiefs one. And you're going to probably kind of be shocked. But I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball. I think Chris Jones could be MVP. Stuff the run,
I'm
get to
not
the
going to fight
quarterback.
you on that.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Jones has been playing out of his mind. So I think if you're going to go with an MVP for the Chiefs, I think it's Chris Jones. Like I said, stop the run, get to Jalen Hurts, make it tough. Maybe get a fumble return for a touchdown. I definitely like Chris Jones as an MVP, as a secret MVP, basically. Kind of a sneaky one right there. John G, Texas quarterback on both sides, so I'm good either way. There you go on that. I kind of feel bad for the Dallas fans, like from Dallas. They have the worst odor in sports, but the richest. Then suddenly the Andersons say, hold my beer, trade Luka, and the dirtiest way possible. Everything's going wrong in Dallas. Dallas is going crazy right now. Profits over fans. Yeah, everything's going crazy, crazy, crazy in Dallas, man. End the show, brother. You got something left on you?
Well, it'd be funny if, you know how in WWE they have what's that match where it's like a ladder? It's the
Money in the Bank?
Yeah, like in the NFL, like imagine like a team comes in and ends up like winning the Super Bowl. I was like, dude, this is insane. But you know what? Give me Chiefs, man. I was saying in the beginning of the year, everyone said we said it, Chiefs, we're not going to do it. And throughout the year, I told you, I said, send them out these Chiefs, and you and Derek, especially Derek, Bills. I'm like, Derek, I don't know, man. There's something about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the Bills have just, if the Chiefs aren't here, you think Bills get to at least 2 Super Bowls?
Oh, God. You're putting me on the spot. Yeah, I think so. Honestly, no. I think they get to 1, but if you have a healthy Bengals team, I think the Bengals get to another one. I mean, their health has killed Cincinnati. That's what it is. I think they could compete with Kansas City, but I think the Bills get to probably 2, guaranteed 1. I think Cincinnati gets to the other one. I think that happens.
I think the Bengals, I think the Bills, but really if the Bengals get to 2 though, Rudy, is someone else has to get to 1. Who's the other team? I do think the Bills get to at least 2. Because now if the Bengals go to back-to-back, they beat the Rams,
Baltimore.
and let's say
those teams that Lamar had.
I don't know, man, because we saw them 2 years ago just wet the bed against the Chiefs in that championship or in the divisional round. But I guess.
But you're talking if the Chiefs don't get there, that means Baltimore beats them. So, I mean, yeah, I think Baltimore may have a chance. It's crazy how you got to go through Mahomes, and even on Mahomes when he doesn't have his best receiver.
Tyreek Hill is not even. Dude, Tyreek's an afterthought. He hasn't had Tyreek
in what, 2 years? I mean, and he still hasn't slowed down.
I think Andy, much like the NBA, though, I do think great NBA coaches are good managers, right? Especially depending on your personalities. We see a Pat Riley, especially a Phil Jackson, but I think football, Rudy, X's and O's is so important. I think coaching really does matter. Obviously, you need good players too, but the coaching and where you put certain players. I mean, we look at, I don't want to bring the Falcons here, but Rudy, you really should have won that Super Bowl. You should have won that Super Bowl.
That's why I love talking Super Bowl with all you guys on Sweep, because y'all always bring up that one.
You really, sure the Rams didn't score any touchdowns, but y'all scored a bunch of touchdowns.
If there was ever a video where a guy had a legitimate reason to bust the TV, it was that video. It was that Super Bowl right there.
Can I ask you one question? What was the feeling like, Rudy, after that game? Did you feel numb? Where were you actually? I know we were talking, but I don't remember.
For asking me this, I'm going to tell you right now.
We knew each other, but I don't know. I don't remember. It's been quite a while.
So, I I remember bringing my daughter home. I remember all the big things in life. Why is that Super Bowl always on my mind? Because I was so excited being up 28-3 halfway through the third quarter. And I thought, there's no way this is in the bag. When they went to overtime, I knew it was done. They lost the game. I immediately went on Facebook because I think that was the only thing I had. And I literally sent them like a post on Facebook. And we don't normally cuss on here because we're a children's show. So forgive me. I'll try to keep it as clean as possible. I said, nobody effing text me, effing message me, effing DM me, leave me the F alone. I will not respond. If you text me, I will tell you to go F yourself. I went on a massive rant on that post and I left it at that. I turned my phone off. I didn't turn it on till Monday midday because I was so furious. I went to bed. I did punch the wall. The wall won. So luckily I used my left hand. I'm right-handed. I was so pissed off, Joe. When you say you're numb, I don't even think numb is the word I can use to describe it. If I'll put it this way, if I would have died that day, then I would have been okay with it. I just didn't want to be around. That's how bad it was.
I have a similar story though. So
2013 similar story. Come on.
Well, I'm going to tell you, 2013, Miami Heat Spurs.
Oh, God, yeah, okay.
I'll say this. The following year in 2014, I was still distraught after obviously game 6 and then 7 was so close. I didn't watch a Spurs game until Christmas. I kid you not, until Christmas Day was the first time. I forgot. I think Spurs may have been playing Rockets. I don't remember. It was the first time I saw a Spurs game. I was so distraught. I just couldn't. I couldn't watch a Spurs game because for you Spurs fans, that game 6, Rudy, was like it. The fact that we were up by 6 points, and Kawhi and Mine were missing free throws, and then to have to get ready for a game 7 as a fan, I couldn't only imagine Tim Duncan getting ready for game 7. But that was probably the worst. Game 6, probably the worst sports night ever. I mean, the Rams losing a Super Bowl, obviously tough. It's very, as a fan, but nothing like a game 6. Ray Allen just took a sword and taking out Tim Duncan. I still don't have an answer to that, Rudy. I still don't.
That's the one flaw in what would have been a perfect career for Bob. That's the one flaw that everybody would point back to.
I still think, though, that Tim Duncan may have not had the greatest. I think Duncan may have had the most perfect career, though, Rudy. If you really take a step back and see
he did
where he started to perfect career. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time, Spurs fans, or even fans in general, but the perfect career, you look at Duncan and you think, well, that was pretty perfect, man.
Well,
he did lose to an 8th seed in the Grizzlies, but that Grizzly team, Rudy, if you go back and look at the tape, that was no 8th seed. That was no regular 8th seed.
Was it Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Mike Conley,
Allen,
Tony Allen was their defensive player? I can't remember who else was on that squad.
Rudy, that was no regular 8th seed.
No.
That was a man team. That was a man. Zach Randolph and Gasol in the post, Rudy, was as good as any tandem at that time in the post.
Yeah. I agree with that, man. So we got a bunch of comics in here, man. Before we go, Chiefs win. They'll take some time before they get back. They don't see Mahomes challenging Brady till he's in his 30s with a different coach. Window open for the rest of the league. I can see that happening. And John G's laughing at the wall. I did punch the wall. The wall won, obviously. But yeah, that Super Bowl, I'll never. What's so crazy is these guys on Sweep the League, they're never going to let me forget about the 28-3 debacle. I always get text messages and all that stuff. Dude, I don't want to talk about 2013. you watch a lot of TV? Have you watched the new season of Invincible? I have yet to see Invincible.
I have not. There's so many good shows out these days. It's just so hard to keep up. I'm a big true crime guy, so I'm always finding new true crime to watch on top of just the regular shows, but I have not.
Okay, I'll check it out. I do want to see it. I have yet to see it, Drew, so I'll check out Invincible. At least 10 years up until the Fox trade were more miserable than the aftermath of Game 6 for me. Fair enough. 23 created the perfect game in 2014. It sure did.
Yeah, no, it's the 2014 makes you forget about that. It's almost like the Red Sox, right? Coming back from 3-0, just kind of sums that was a crazy series. But no, 2013 to me, to this day, the Derek Fisher shot was hard too, but that game,
it should have never counted. 0.4, dude. If you're shooting the ball normally, not a fadeaway, I can do 0.4. They put the Trent Tucker rule in there for a reason. He turned and faded away in 0.4 seconds. There's no possible way. No possible way.
That should have never happened. And as a kid, I'm watching the game like, dude, this guy didn't do that. He turned around, shot the shot. I'm like, now that would have never even happened. But back then, wasn't a rule, I guess. Whatever.
It is whatever. But we gave you our Super Bowl picks. Appreciate everybody joining us in here tonight. Gio made a really good comment to end the show. Tim Duncan with the perfect career. I will say 100%. I will agree with that because never had a losing record. Made the playoffs every single year of his career. Was an all-star, every year or just about every year?
And his defense, I mean, really, his defense, I mean, even at the end of his career, we saw him play still at a high level. That Oklahoma City series where the Spurs lost in 6, he had a hell of a game. I mean, in the NBA Finals, especially 2013, dude, he was still coming in and giving you tons of minutes. You know, you talk about Shaq. Look at how sad was the end of Shaq's career, really? Ugh. He was playing with the Celtics and then he was with the Cavs. You know, Charles Barkley loves to talk about Shaq at the end of his career. As good as Kobe was, what was Kobe doing? He was just jacking up shots. I love Michael Jordan, but really, you remember those last few years in Washington, at least. Chicago, he was still the man, but Jordan had a lot of flame outs in the postseason, especially early on in his career. If you talk about perfect career, Duncan winning a championship and a Finals MVP in his second year, and then 2000 he had that injury, which the Spurs were out, but against the Suns. If Duncan doesn't have that injury in 2000, could they have made another run? I don't know. The Lakers were pretty tough, but the perfect career, I gotta give it to, it's probably Tim Duncan.
Yeah, because I think Jordan missed the playoffs early in his career, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, he did have 60 something on Larry Bird, and then Larry said he was Jesus Christ, but
yeah. I mean, I remember Larry did say something like that. Appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. We're going to end the show here with some Super Bowl ads. Get you ready for Super Bowl. We got a couple of Super Bowl, some good Super Bowl commercials from back in the day. So everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. We should be back tomorrow with Derek Irvin. I know Gio is out for tomorrow. Unless he changes his mind, he's probably going to be out for tomorrow. So we'll catch Gio on the flip side, which will be next week. If we do have a show tomorrow, it's going to be myself, Derek Irvin. We're going to hopefully throw it back to the NBA days of the glory days in the NBA. We'll do a throwback Friday edition for you guys on NBA Talk. So be sure to join us tomorrow if we do a show. If not, we'll be posted on social media to let you guys know that we will be back next week. Enjoy the Super Bowl, people. I appreciate everybody joining here for Coach Gio. It is Rudy Campos Jr. and also for Derek Gervin. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads. Enjoy the commercials here as we get ready for Super Bowl 59.
I don't think you should do this. Last year, she came to my work. Now I gotta show her what I can do.
He's here.
Flat on the track.
What up, Bronx? For your consideration, here comes the Boston Massacre! The Dumb Kings! Touchdown Tommy on them keys! Player coach.
Got it.
I'm open. And needs no introduction, my partner!
It's really hard to be your friend, man.
You said you were gonna support me? Dumb Kings!
Don't go away, my heart. Why you dunking me, girl? Why you dunking?
Dumb Kings!
My heart.
How do you like them donuts? I'm so sorry.
You had to see it, but I forgive you. Lay us on the track.
Are we gonna be on the album?
We talked about this.
Let's go. You're blinded by them pinstripes. Wrap it up. Here goes Babe Ruth.
Tom, you can stay.
You remember when I told you I'd do anything for you? This is anything.
Chill. They're naming a drink after us.
Okay, now what? Rock, paper, scissors for it? Okay, that's fair. On three? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I threw paper.
I threw a rock.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Low 5.
Time to react, yeah, shift like a skate. Left, right, lean, that's a bucket in sight. Pull up mid, let it fly, no hype. Fourth quarter ice, keep the rock in my grip. When the clock go red, don't slip, I rip. Fast as allowed, yeah, the motor don't quit. Drop 30 quick, now they begging for a switch. Fox in the open, the lane look free, now I loud that up. Win,